With the release of the new Doctor Who Series 12 trailer, it has us all excited of what Series 12 is going to bring us in early 2020. Greetings fellow science fiction fans, you are watching all things sci-fi, and in this video we're going to be breaking down the newest thing from our friends at the BBC. The opening shot shows us the TARDIS in what looks like to be France 1943 based on the aesthetics and what we learn from later on in the trailer. The Doctor has rather expertly parked the TARDIS in what I believe are olive or wine bushes next to this estate in the countryside. In this next shot, we see the Doctor, Graham, Yaz and Ryan walking up to what I presume is the door of the villa from the previous shot. The Doctor makes a not so subtle reference to James Bond to a guard or door person. Moving forward, we see a shot of what looks like a capsule or escape pod falling towards the Earth. To speculate, this could be the Jadoon we see further on in the trailer, as in the Sarah Jane adventures, we have seen Jadoon being dispatched to Earth in pods. This is then followed up by a shot of the Doctor using her sonic screwdriver, possibly scanning something from her movement with it. We are then shown what looks to be a ship or satellite of some kind firing a beam of light at what appears to be the UK. The next shot is showing us an alien which, upon further close inspection, appears to look like a slightly redesigned Weevil from Torchwood, smashing up against this glass or barricade very aggressively. We are then given a close-up of the Doctor wearing welding goggles, reminiscent of the goggles the 11th Doctor would wear on occasion. We are then shown the inside of Stephen Fry's character's office, where he asks the Doctor if she can be trusted. To speculate, this could possibly be Unit or Torchwood from the past enlisting the help of the Doctor, but could also be the introduction of a new organisation within the Doctor Who universe. The next shot shows us the Doctor and Yaz under the floorboard of what looks like a messy office or living room, possibly hiding from something or sneaking into the building. The follow-up shot is of a spaceship flying towards the camera, which could possibly be leaving the orbit of a planet. The background is harder to make out. It appears to look like either stars or the lights of a very large city. The next shot we see the Doctor, Graham and Ryan staring at something off camera with amazement or possibly shock in a dimly lit room. We are then greeted by one of the more interesting shots in this trailer. We are shown a Jadoon marching towards the camera. The lighting would suggest that this Jadoon isn't as friendly as he is lit with reds and yellows, but this could be misleading us with false ideas. When we see Yaz and Graham running with what I would presume is the Doctor, they seem to be surprised about something. Again, possibly something that the Doctor has said or suggested to this point. To follow up, we then see the Doctor turn to face something with a shocked expression on her face. This shot also appears to be in the same building as the previous shot. In this next shot, we see a creature that very strongly resembles the Rachnos shown in the Tennant era, but with a slightly different colour scheme and facial structure. To speculate, this could be a Rachnos that has been in hiding, as that's why the Doctor believed the Empress was the last of their kind. Moving forward, we see what I believe to be two joint shots. We see two people from what look like France 1943 looking anxiously out of a window. They could possibly be hiding from bombs or whatever creature the episode would be centered on. We then see them react to what I believe is the Doctor in the following shot. The following shot ends with a spark behind the Doctor, which could be from a shot of some kind. This is then followed up by a far off shot of what looks to be some sort of military compound, judging by the vehicle driving on the road. This could possibly contain alien equipment or possibly a spaceship. We are then greeted by a shot of what definitely appears to be the main streets of Paris, where we see Yaz and an unknown character being chased by a scorpion-like creature with a humanoid-looking head, slightly reminiscent of the mutated Lazarus. We then see Yaz, Graham and Ryan in the car, most likely talking to the Doctor who is in front. The driver, as shown in the upcoming shot, appears to be automated to some degree. The next shot is one of the Doctor appearing to use some sort of barbecue inside the TARDIS. We are then shown the pedals of a British car, with no person using them, possibly meaning this car is automated. The car, however, suddenly brakes in the middle of a main road, and everyone reacts surprised, showing us that the car was not meant to have done that. This is reminiscent of the Atmos cars from the Tennant era, where they would have complete control of the car. The follow-up shot shows us Graham in some sort of headgear that is hooked up to the TARDIS to possibly read his thoughts. However, certain parts of the headgear bear resemblance to the top of a Cyberman's head that have been damaged with two broken stalks sticking out the top. We are then brought back to these fields, where we see the Doctor and two others, possibly any of the companions riding motorcycles while being shot at by people in the car. This might insinuate that the Doctor's meeting did not go to plan in the villa from the beginning of the trailer. The next 3 shots give us the idea that the Doctor was possibly flung in time and space, as she doesn't know where she is. We are then shown an amazingly well done shot of Paris during World War II, to which the Doctor reacts with an anxious look. To speculate again, and this is a stretch, we know of one set of villains that could move people in both space and time. Could the Weeping Angels have possibly done this to the Doctor? We are then shown a shot of the Doctor sitting in the TARDIS with a very worried look on her face. The lighting in the TARDIS being dim yet blue would suggest this also. She is possibly contemplating the Cybermen coming after her, but we don't know if the line used was even from that episode. The next 2 shots are ones that fans have been excited about, and that of course is the one of the Cyberman. The Cyberman is seen walking through flames, possibly caused by a fight that the Cyberman has just won. The haze from the fire does make it hard to see, but from what I can make out, the Cyberman appears to have parts from different eras of Cybermen. His torso appears to be a Smith Capaldi era, his left leg appears to be one of the Tennant era Cybermen, his left arm appears to be a classic Cyberman with a more cloth appearance. The other limbs, however, are too hard to really pick out. The next shot is a close-up of the Cyberman's head, where he appears to be in some sort of abandoned looking building. His head is unique, however the scorch marks and welding marks suggest that this head may have been constructed by mixing different eras of Cybermen. It appears they may be returning to a less robotic Cyberman slightly, with the use of older parts, which is nice to see. The follow-up shot is one of the Doctor reacting to something in what looks like pain, but still appears to be in the same place as the previous TARDIS shot. The next 2 shots appear to be the 2 workplaces of Ryan and Yaz, as Ryan is seen standing outside a warehouse, as he used to work in a factory. Beside him, I believe, is his dad. Yaz, however, is standing outside the police station, next to an officer in uniform. We are then shown a shot of the Doctor operating the dematerialization circuit, but from what we can see, the Doctor appears to be in somewhat anger at this moment while doing so, possibly hinting at things not going her way as much in this series. The next shot is in what appears to be a lab, where we see bat-like creatures burst through the ceiling to possibly attack the Doctor and companions. To speculate, these bat creatures may have been an experiment taking place in that lab that went horribly wrong. We then see a rather unusual shot of 6 glowing figures, with what I can only assume is the Doctor looking at them, based on the shoulder we see. In this next shot, we see 2 masked humanoid-like characters with very unique alien weaponry, with one letting off a blast of yellow energy. The shot then moves out to show us that they are firing at Yaz and someone else, possibly Ryan, that near misses Yaz and lets a large amount of sparks, possibly linking into the sparks we saw earlier on in the trailer. The device that Yaz was looking at appears to even look like a scaled-down version of the Doctor's current TARDIS console, sharing the same shapes and colours. We then see a creature move through the doors of the TARDIS in the follow-up shot. The creature appears to consist of some kind of red energy, or it is using it to enter the TARDIS. The creature also appears to have an oddly shaped head, which could possibly be a helmet. The next 2 shots seem to follow up in some way to the previous shot, with a lot of attention being put on the TARDIS. To speculate, this could mean we get more of a TARDIS-focused episode, or more information on how the TARDIS works that we don't already know. We are then shown 2 shots on a beach, where, in the first shot, we appear to see the Doctor running towards something in the water, possibly one of the bat creatures, or she could possibly be running away from the bat creatures. The second shot shows us the bat creatures in much greater numbers, and we see them swarm around the TARDIS, yet appearing to avoid touching it. The next shot shows us a battle or war of sorts, although the buildings in the background don't suggest Earth too heavily. We see 2 individuals get thrown by an explosion of unknown origin. In the follow-up shot, we see a close-up of Yaz sitting next to Ryan while crying slightly, which may suggest again that this series will be a lot more brutal than the last. We are then shown 3 shots which I believe take place aboard the plane we see in the first shot. The first shot shows us a plane flying over the clouds, but the sun appears to be blue. Whether this is just a camera effect or an actual part of the plot, we shall see. The next 2 shots, however, show us Graham and Yaz appearing to be in trouble aboard this plane. They appear to be inside the plane's electronics, and the area they are in appears to be losing oxygen. The final shot of the trailer is the Doctor looking absolutely petrified in possibly the same location as the shot with the explosion. To speculate, she might have just seen the Cyberman for the first time, possibly destroying the town we saw before. And that's it, the Series 12 trailer from Doctor Who. I can't wait to see what Series 12 has in store for us, as the trailer looks really promising. I'd love to hear your theories and wishes for the new series in the comments below. You've been watching All Things Sci-Fi.
Allons-y!